What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react and learn about things that Brits love about America. You know, as an American, I understand that there are some criticisms directed our way, many of which are justified. But today, I'm excited to learn about some things that Brits really like about America. I am ready to be showered in compliments. So, with that being said, let's take a look at things Brits love about America.
Number one thing we love about America is portion sizes. Oh my gosh, you guys are so generous.
Oh, yes. Oh, what a good one. What a good first one. Portion sizes. I love that about America as well. Even as an American, I still appreciate this. I try to. I know this is almost a stigma or stereotype, though, of how unhealthy Americans are, but I don't care, you know? That's an American attitude for you. I don't care. You gotta be careful with your health, and it's easy to overeat and be unhealthy in the United States, that's for sure. But that all put aside, the gigantic portion sizes here are awesome.
I think we dissed it in another video. We
yeah.
do actually love
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
a good plate.
I mean, we hate it when we come back to the UK because you've ruined UK portion sizes and you've made us fat. But when we're there on holiday, we're like, this is amazing.
Oh my.
You know, they're kind of joking, but there's some truth to it. It might just be better as human beings to never experience American portioning, because then I feel like you can't go back. Once you see it, once you experience the huge amount of food you get, how big our small sizes are, our smalls in fast food, for drinks, for snacks, our small is like a large, or medium at least, in a lot of other countries. And growing up in the United States, we definitely get used to that. I don't think there's any saving us at this point. But for other people, say for Brits who visit America, I don't know, you might never be able to go back. You might never look at portion sizes the same.
The amount of food you get for the amount of money is incredible.
We're going to be there in September just eating. So we're going to get so fat.
Yeah.
It's going to be good fat.
It's going to be
It's going to be we've eaten lots of
Yeah. And then people will say, you look really well, which you know means you've gained weight.
Yeah. Did they say...
Is that like a British passive aggressiveness? You look so well. You look so well fed. Like, oh, I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, when you gain,
you look really well. But also, what must you Americans think about our portion sizes? Because it's the same thing with free refills in America.
Oh,
you get free refills on like soda all the time.
Yeah.
You come to the UK and you pay £3 every time you have a drink.
Whoa, what? Hey, wait, what? I didn't know about all this. I thought, I don't know why I assumed, free refills, like at a restaurant or fast food. It's always free refills. That's the default. People riot. People would complain. Seriously. Americans would think it's strange and complain if the drinks weren't free unlimited refills. That's just standard. I guess I just kind of foolishly assumed that was standard everywhere else. Is it not in Britain? You have to keep paying every time you want a refill on your drink. Oh my gosh. How do you survive?
What must you think?
Free refills feel like everyone's lucky day here.
Yeah. Like the only place you get that is Nando's. And you serve yourself.
What about McDonald's portion sizes? Surely our fries are ridiculous. Our small fries must be like a baby's portion.
Oh, definitely.
Baby. It's like a baby serving to us, right? Another way of thinking about this is, I guess in America, you get more bang for your buck. Like, all of the pricing is probably vaguely similar, but you get more food here for whatever you're purchasing, which is kind of nice to think about it that way as well. You kind of get more for what you pay for, I guess.
For an American.
McDonald's is incredible. I think, our large drink
Yeah.
is like their small or medium.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
We should film a part 1 British video here and film the other half,
Yeah.
like on the vlogging camera.
Comparing
Can
a
we do
British
that?
McDonald's and an American
Yes,
McDonald's.
yeah,
Let's
we
do
do
it.
it on the
Right.
vlogging camera.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good excuse for us to get McDonald's.
In the past, I have watched videos about like comparing McDonald's large in the UK versus America, and it's ridiculous. It's insane. I think I did like a whole reaction to that at one point. It's insane how big an American large is. Like, there's nothing that even compares to it.
Yes! Good fact, good fact.
Good bats.
Looking really well.
Like the same meal here and the same
Yeah.
meal there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a Big Mac.
Uh-huh.
Or McChicken.
Okay, shut up.
So the second thing is friendliness, and deep down, I think
Okay.
we, all us British people, like, we just wish that we all spoke. You know what I
To
mean?
each other.
To each other, yeah.
Friendliness. Interesting. Not one I think about very much as an American, but I have heard this before. Sometimes it's almost spoken about as a negative thing. Americans can be a bit loud, obnoxious, opinionated. You can always spot the American when we're traveling, like, outside the US, somewhere to another country. We're very, like, loud, I think, for lack of a better word. But another way of saying this, which I think is appropriate, is Americans are very friendly. Maybe annoying to some point, especially if you're in a country where you want more personal space, if you're not as accustomed to complete strangers saying something to you. But aside from that, it's kind of nice in a way. It's kind of a nice thing about American culture. People do say things to you. People are pretty friendly and pretty open to talking. It's pretty easy to, like, become casual friends with people. In America, it's like the more friends, the merrier, it feels like. So, yeah, I think Americans, if nothing else, are quite friendly.
Because, like, you know, you go in, I was used this example before, but you go into a shop in America, you're greeted,
Yeah.
they say, hi, how are you doing, how's your day? And that just doesn't happen over here. And if it
Wow.
does, it's uncomfortable. And, you know, if someone spoke to me on the tube or on the bus,
Yeah.
I'd immediately be like, is there something wrong with them
Yeah.
mentally?
But for some
Wow, like that's a pretty incredible difference. In Britain, thinking if someone speaks to you in public, a stranger, your knee-jerk reaction would be like, something wrong with this person? Like, why are they talking to me? Now, don't get me wrong. There are times in the United States where you just want to be left alone, but I would never think, what's wrong with this person? This is such strange behavior. I'd just be like, yeah, this is normal American daily life. Some Americans are really friendly. Some are too friendly and will talk your ear off. But I don't know. It's a fascinating difference between American and British culture. And yeah, it kind of depends on your personality, if you're introverted or extroverted. But I think the general American friendliness is true. It's definitely true. It exists. And yeah, I don't know. I should appreciate it a bit more, I guess.
For some reason, on holiday, I feel, in America, it's actually quite nice having someone that's like just really attentive and really friendly and
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is actually very nice. And
Yeah.
I think the only reason we've made fun of it in the past is because deep down we wish that we were
a bit more
a bit
like
more
that.
like people were a bit nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like when you go to a shop or something, you're out shopping. The associates at the store or the restaurant, they're obviously paid to be nice to you. It's not quite the same thing, but some genuine kindness does like come across to me. And I think maybe in America, people who work places are encouraged more to talk to people because it's socially normal, socially acceptable, and expected. Actually, it's kind of expected when you walk in somewhere for the staff to say something to you, to greet you, maybe say, how's it going? That is definitely expected. I don't know if it's because they're being super nice or, you know, they're being told to do it and paid to do it. So that's a little different, but still an interesting difference between Britain and America.
Even if it comes across a little bit fake.
Yeah. There is a line,
Yeah.
I think, with politeness.
Yeah.
I like the friendliness and how Americans will speak to anyone, but
Yeah.
then the other side where it's like, leave me
Irritating.
alone now.
Yeah.
I remember in America where we got
Yeah.
chatting to the table next to us because they started talking to us. We wouldn't have initiated a conversation.
Of course not.
But they were lovely, and we were chatting. But there came a time, like after 5 minutes of talking, we're like, okay, that's enough. Like, let's get on with our meals. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even some Americans experience this. Not all of us like want to be talked to. It does come to a point where you can be talking to a stranger in America and it gets a little old and you do want to be left alone. Like that, even as Americans, some of us want that as well. It can be annoying in a good way, kind of.
we ended up talking to them the whole time, like us eating our meal on our table, them eating their meal on their table, and just like chatting across, and just like absolutely not like know when to stop.
I would have distanced myself.
I know.
Right?
Well, I did. I mentally checked out. I was just like mum and dad talking. I was just like started a conversation with someone else.
Right.
Oh, were your mum and dad like annoyed by the end of it?
Yeah.
And Americans would definitely lack. A lot of Americans would lack the social awareness to know that there's a cultural difference between America and Britain. To know that, hey, for British people in British culture, I shouldn't just keep talking and talking and talking. There is a difference in expectation there. A lot of Americans wouldn't even know that they're kind of being annoying or rude. They would probably think they're being quite friendly and nice, actually. So, a bit of a cultural misunderstanding. I'm not too shocked at that, actually.
Yeah, by the end of it, they were like, well, that wasn't really a family meal, was it? But that's the thing, there's a line.
That's
but
so
yeah,
funny.
in general...
Debs,
Yeah.
that's funny.
There's a line.
That is funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
You can just imagine them like,
Yeah.
all the kids have checked out, like, your problem to deal with it, grown ups.
You're the grown-ups.
Oh, amazing.
The next thing Brits love about America is the size of your houses. I know it's different if you live in a city like New York and you've got like a quite small
flat.
apartment.
Oh yeah, I just called it.
I was about to say, the size of our houses, that confuses me a little bit. I've heard of this before. Are we talking about like the average size of a house in the middle of nowhere? Or a house in a city? Or a town? Maybe it's just an average? Because I think no matter what, if you're in a major city, whether you're in Britain, whether you're in America, your house is not going to be that big. On average, unless you're like a millionaire or something and you have a big house. But for normal, regular people, the houses are going to be small in big cities across the world, I think. Certainly here as well. But out in smaller towns, rural areas, are American houses just bigger on average? Is it because America is such a bigger landmass? Do we just have more space? What is the reason for this?
Flat.
A flat. Like my flat in New York.
But in general, the homes in America are huge, like really spacious, really
And a
big.
really open plan.
Open plan.
I love open plan.
Just got
See, this is a part of like American housing I don't recognize. I didn't realize our houses are much bigger. It's interesting. I guess it depends on how you've grown up. I'd love to know, are even the houses I consider small, are those just normal in Britain? Now I'm really quite curious.
got space.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love, like, do you ever watch Extreme Makeover?
Yeah.
Home Edition. They play it over here on, like, a channel that is non-existent now. And, yeah, it's amazing, like, seeing these open plan houses. And the reason why Brits can't have open plan is A, because of the temperature. It's just too cold to heat the whole space.
Yeah.
And B, because we're just a bit behind.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
Well, we don't have the space. Our country's so small.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay. Temperature, climate, having something to do with it. Never thought of that. That's really interesting. It just wouldn't make sense practically to have these big open design homes in Britain because it's a bit colder in Britain on average. It'd be difficult to heat that kind of space, a giant open space. That makes sense to me. Never thought about that. And also, like they're saying, and what I was kind of thinking is there's just a lot more space here in America. America is so freaking gigantic. It's very common for people to have, pretty big yards, space between houses. I know that's not always common in places around the world. Most houses are standalone, good size, For me, just normal size, but now I feel like they're big, like a good size. Definitely, I've always thought like American houses are all comfortable. I've never once been like, oh, this is cramped, which is obviously a huge luxury and something Americans really need to be like kind of appreciative for, honestly. And most American houses have like good big lawn, backyard, front lawn. A lot of houses have basements, a lot of space in between houses. Yeah, when I really stop and think about it, that kind of thing isn't necessarily the normal for a lot of places around the world. So we have a lot to be thankful for in those terms, actually.
Yeah.
And lots of our houses are like Victorian houses, which back then they built them like quite narrow and quite...
Yeah,
Okay.
narrow corridors and like boxy
Like our homes
rooms.
will be big, but lots of tiny rooms, tiny like corridors. So I feel like this house is huge,
Yeah.
but it's like lots of corridors, lots of separate rooms, where in America that would be more...
Oh yeah.
not through.
Oh, interesting. The design of British homes is different because there's a lot of older Victorian style, as I think they were saying, where the house feels a little more cramped, smaller rooms and isolated spaces. That's interesting. Has to do with the history of the houses.
through.
It's so inconvenient when we've got luggage.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get down. It's like going upstairs.
jeez.
The next thing we love about America, and I think all Brits will agree on this, is like the TV series and the films that you guys produce. It's just a bigger scale. It's incredible. Like some of the
Yeah, this is something I really, really never thought about as an American. The fact that a lot of famous actors are from here. Hollywood is in America. There's a lot of popular music comes out of America. A lot of that stuff comes out of Britain as well. That I've learned, and I have known for the longest time since I was a kid, starting with the Beatles and stuff, that a lot of the most famous music artists come out of Britain, actually. But as far as entertainment goes, I know America is considered like one of the places to be for entertainment. Like a place to be. If you want a career in entertainment, there's like always movies and stuff being made here by Americans. There's a lot of American actors that are pretty famous. So this is definitely true. And living in it, I never even realized that a lot of the rest of the world watches American entertainment, whereas me and other Americans, we don't really watch entertainment from other parts of the world that often, which is kind of weird. It kind of warps your sense of reality. Like, I figured, everywhere just watches entertainment from their country only. They just watch their own stuff. But I think America is so big in the entertainment industry, a lot of other countries watch American stuff and probably get a lot of sense of American culture through that stuff. Whereas growing up, I wasn't watching like British stuff or stuff from like Asian countries or something. I wasn't watching, maybe some anime, but aside from that, I didn't have any exposure to other cultures and countries through entertainment because I'm an American. I was just watching American stuff.
the stuff that Netflix come out with that we all binge watch over here. Like we literally are in awe of your TV film production.
Right, Netflix.
Because it's mind blowing,
Yeah.
and the budgets are obviously much
the money
bigger. So
thrown behind it is incredible.
yeah,
Yeah.
unbelievable. So
Yeah.
I know you guys are probably in awe of a lot of British TV series.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like British stuff is really good and it's getting even
More
better
traction.
all the time.
Yeah.
And I think British creatives are among the best in the world, but I think America still is phenomenal at the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there are really hit British TV shows. Of course, The Office comes to mind. Lots of other things, and there's lots of famous British entertainers. But it's not on the same scale. Like, just as from a business point of view, the amount of money America dumps into entertainment is pretty insane.
Definitely. Completely agree.
Yeah.
So well done, you guys. You can have
Well
that.
done, you can have that.
You can have that one.
We can
Free.
have
Cheers, here's to America.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and I know budget's not everything, but certainly, like, when you're watching a TV show and just you watch an episode of like Breaking Bad and you think like how much money, or you know, Game of Thrones, Sky Atlantic's American made, isn't it? It's like the money that goes behind that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of shows that were probably made in America, like Game of Thrones and stuff, that have ungodly amounts of budget. But this is actually quite fun. I might have to stop right here for now because we're only halfway through this, and we're going on for quite a while. I think I'm really slowing down and savoring this topic of stuff Brits love about America. I'm really quite enjoying this, to be frank. But it's also making me think about America and appreciate some of the things we have that not the rest of the world always has. It's actually real interesting. Quite introspective. I really like it, but I'm going to stop here for now and continue the rest of this in part 2. So if you've liked this video so far, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment, perhaps with anything you love about America. I'd love to hear it. And if you're interested in part 2 of this, or just more videos like this in general, me reacting to Britain and British culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.